There is a moment every family knows. Somebody cannot eat. Maybe it is after the hospital when they come home and everything tastes like metal and their stomach turns at the sight of a plate. Maybe it is a bad flu, 3 days of it, and they have not kept anything down. Maybe it is a very small child who is sick and will not take food, and you are frightened, because a child who will not eat is a frightening thing. And you stand in the kitchen and you do not know what to make, because everything you know how to cook is too much, too heavy, too solid, too much to face. You put toast in front of them and they cannot. You heat a can of soup and they take 1 spoon and stop. I am going to show you what my grandmother made for exactly this. It is called congee. It is rice and a lot of water and time. That is all. It costs almost nothing, and it is the gentlest food I know how to make. It goes down when nothing else will. I am Nai. In my grandmother's village, when somebody was not well, nobody ran to buy medicine first. First they came to the kitchen. And I want to say something right at the front plainly because it matters and I will not skip it. Congee is not medicine. It does not cure a flu. It does not fix what is wrong. What it does is keep a person going. It gets something warm and gentle into a body that cannot take anything else, so that body has a little strength while it heals itself. That is what it is for. That is not a small thing when somebody has eaten nothing for 2 days. I am going to show you what congee actually is, why it works when solid food does not. The one decision you make at the start that changes everything, which is how thin or how thick. The method, which is almost nothing, how to make it for a sick person, for a small child, and for yourself on an ordinary morning. And at the end, the honest part, when congee is not enough and you need the doctor. Because there is a line, and I will show you where it is. Let me tell you where I learned this. In the village, congee was not special. It was breakfast. Rice was precious, and there was never quite enough of it. So you took a small amount of rice and a large amount of water, and you made it stretch to feed everybody in the morning. Poor food, stretching food. But it was also the food for the sick. When somebody could not eat, this is what my grandmother made. And when a baby was old enough to come off milk but too small for real food, the water from the top of the congee, the thin silky part, was the first food that baby ever had. So in one pot you had the food for the very beginning of a life, and the food for the very end of one, the same pot, rice and water. My grandmother made it for her own mother in the last weeks, when nothing else would go down. She told me that once, and she did not say anything more about it, and I did not ask. That is the food I am teaching you today. It looks like nothing. It is not nothing now. Why it works when a piece of toast does not. When a person is sick or just out of the hospital or very small, the stomach is doing almost no work. It does not want to. Solid food asks the body to do a great deal. Chew it, break it down, work at it. A body that is fighting something does not have that to spare. Congee has already done all of that work for the body. The rice has been cooked so long that the hard grain has broken completely apart and dissolved into the water. It is soft past soft. There is nothing left to break down. It is warm, it is wet, it is bland, it is gentle, and it slips into a body that would refuse anything else. And it is mostly water, which matters more than people think, because a sick person is very often a little dried out, and they will drink warm congee when they will not drink a glass of water. That is the whole reason it works. It asks nothing of the body, and it gives something back. Now, the one decision, thick or thin, this is the only real choice you make, and you make it with how much water you use. Thin congee is soupy. It is almost a drink. You could nearly pour it. This is what you want for somebody who is quite sick, who has not eaten in a while, or for a very small child, or for the first food after the stomach has been bad. You start thin. Always start thin when somebody is fragile. You can make it thicker tomorrow. Thick congee is like a soft porridge. It holds together on the spoon. This is for somebody who is getting better, who is hungry again, who wants something with a little more to it. This is also how you eat it on an ordinary morning when you are perfectly well. The rice is the same. The time is the same. The only difference is the water. More water, thinner. Less water, thicker. And you can always add more hot water at the end to thin a thick pot down. You cannot easily go the other way. So when in doubt, thinner. Now the method. It is almost nothing, and that is the point. You need one thing, rice, plain white rice. The long grain, the jasmine, whatever you cook normally is fine. Do not use brown rice for a sick person. The outside of brown rice stays tough, and it is harder on the stomach, which is the opposite of what we want here. Take 1 cup of rice. Rinse it 2 or 3 times in cold water. Swirl it with your hand. Pour the cloudy water off until the water runs mostly clear. Some people like to do one small thing here that I will pass on, because my grandmother did it. Put the rinsed wet rice in the freezer for a few hours or overnight before you cook it. When rice freezes and then cooks, the grain breaks apart faster and the congee turns silky in less time. It is not necessary. But if you know in the evening that somebody will need it in the morning, rinse the rice and freeze it overnight. It saves you time when you are tired. Now into a big pot, 1 cup of rice, and for a nice thin, gentle congee for someone unwell, about 8 to 10 cups of water. That sounds like far too much water for 1 cup of rice. It is not. The rice drinks it. If you want it thicker, for a well person, use more like 6 cups. Bring it up to a boil. And here is the one place you have to pay attention. When it first comes to the boil, the starch foams up, and it will try to boil over the top of the pot and make a mess on your stove. So the moment it boils, turn it right down to low and stir it, and leave the lid a little bit off to the side so the steam escapes. Then it is the same as the soup, low and long, barely moving, lid a little open. Stir it now and then, every 15 or 20 minutes, and scrape the bottom when you do, because rice likes to catch on the bottom of the pot and burn. And burnt, congee is ruined. You cannot save it. After about an hour to an hour and a half, the grains will have burst open and dissolved, and gone creamy and thick and silky, and the whole thing will look like one smooth, soft thing instead of rice in water. That is congee. That is done. If it got too thick, add hot water and stir. If it is too thin, cook it a little longer with the lid off. It is very forgiving. You cannot really fail at this. How to serve it, because it changes depending on who it is for. For a sick adult who can barely eat, serve it plain. Warm, not hot. Thin, nothing on it. Do not put anything exciting on it, because exciting is the last thing that stomach wants. Just the plain warm, silky congee in a cup or a small bowl and a spoon. Let them take a few spoons. Do not push. 20 minutes later, offer a few more. Small and often is how you feed somebody who cannot eat. Not a full bowl all at once. For a small child who is unwell, the same. Thin, plain, cooled to just warm, a little at a time. For a baby who is old enough to be starting food, and only when a doctor has said it is time to start food, it is the thin, silky liquid from the very top, a tiny amount on a small spoon. That was the first food in my family for 4 generations that I know of. For a person who is getting better and coming back to their appetite, now you can start to add the gentle things. A little shredded plain chicken, the meat from that soup we made last time, a soft boiled egg stirred through so it cooks in the heat, a few threads of ginger, the tiniest drop of soy sauce, a little chopped scallion on top. This is where congee becomes a real meal again, and it is delicious, and by now they are ready for it. For yourself, on an ordinary well morning, make it thick and put whatever you like on it. In my house we have it with a little pork, a preserved egg, some ginger, some scallion, a few drops of sesame oil, a handful of crunchy fried things on top. It is one of the great breakfasts in the world, and most people here have never had it. Same pot, the plainest food for the sickest person, the richest version for the well one. You just change what goes on top. Now the honest part. Please listen to this part carefully, because it is the most important thing I will say. Congee helps a person get through being unwell. It does not treat the thing that is making them unwell. I need you to hold both of those in your head at once. So here is where the line is. If a small child is sick and will not eat, a little congee is a good and gentle thing to offer. But if that child is not drinking, if there are no wet diapers, if the child is very sleepy and hard to wake, if there is a high fever, if the child seems to be getting worse and not better, put the spoon down and call the doctor right away. A sick child who is drying out is an emergency, and no food fixes that. Only a doctor does. For an adult, the same idea. Congee is for getting through a normal flu, or coming home from the hospital, or a stomach that is settled but is still tender. But if somebody cannot keep any liquid down at all for a day, if they are getting weaker, if there is blood, if a high fever will not come down, if they are confused, if this has gone on and on with no bottom to it, that is not a congee situation. That is a telephone situation. Call the doctor. Go to the hospital if you have to. My daughter Amy is a nurse, and she has told me the things she wishes more families understood. And it is this: the danger with the sick person who cannot eat is very often not the food. It is the water. It is drying out. And that can happen faster than people think, especially with the very young and the very old. So the question is not only are they eating, the question is, are they drinking, and are they getting worse? If they are drying out or going downhill, you do not wait, and you do not make soup. You get help. Congee is what you make alongside getting proper care, never instead of it. My grandmother made it for her mother at the end, yes, but there was nothing else to be done by then, and she knew that. When there is something to be done, you do that first, and you make the congee to comfort, both, not one instead of the other. So, the whole of it: 1 cup of rice, rinsed, 8 to 10 cups of water for a thin, gentle congee, less for a thick one. Boil, then straight down to low before it boils over. Lid a little open. Stir now and then, so it does not catch. An hour to an hour and a half until the rice dissolves into something silky. Serve it plain and warm and thin for a sick person, a little at a time. Dress it up only when they are getting better. Start the babies on the thin part from the top when the doctor says it is time. And know the line. If a person is drying out or getting worse, that is the doctor, not the pot. Now tell me something in the comments, because I read everyone. Tell me what your family fed you when you were too sick to eat. Every place in the world has one. In China, it is congee. Somewhere, it is dry toast. Somewhere, it is flat soda gone warm, or plain rice, or broth, or a thing your grandmother called by a name only your family knows. I want to know what yours was, and who sat with you while you ate it, and tell me where you are, because I am always curious how far these gentle things reach. And next time, I am going to open the little jar of tangerine peel that sits in every Chinese kitchen, the dried orange peel we save and never throw away. And I am going to show you the 4 or 5 things it does that you would never guess. It is the smell of my grandmother's whole kitchen, and it costs nothing, because you already throw the peel away every week. Until then, if somebody in your house cannot eat tonight, put a little rice and a lot of water on the stove low and let it go soft. And keep an eye on whether they are drinking, not just eating. Eat something warm. Sleep early. Come back and see me.